Good evening, Arizona. Welcome to the UATV Men's Basketball Preview Show. With me tonight is UATV Sports Director Sarah Kezele and Daily Wildcat Sports Reporter Bryan Roy. I'm Alex Budish, your Daily Dose sports source and host this evening. So here it is, U of A, basketball. The season doesn't officially tip off until this Sunday when we face the always dangerous NAU Lumberjacks. Wow. But we've already got some great play and we've seen it so far this season. But there's something different about this Cats team, something that really hasn't been around in quite a while. Oh, yeah, that's right, it's a coach. Back in April, Jim Livengood appointed former Xavier coach Sean Miller as the team's new leader. And I gotta say, I think it's a home run. Sean Miller, who's a former Pitt guard, really, he's explosive. He was the freshman player of the year in the Big East in 1988. He was the leader in assist and free throw percentage at Pitt, and he's also a top 15 scorer there. But overall, he was the Atlantic 10 Coach of the Year at Xavier, and he has a 120-47 record overall. That's not too shabby. But moving on, the men's team did manage to hold on to one very important piece of the puzzle, and that piece was Nick Wise. Sarah, what do you got for us?
Well, just so you guys know, I plan on calling him Papa Wildcat this year, Papa Dub for short. And you guys, you can use that in your stuff if you'd like, but please credit me because I don't want you stealing that little gem. But that said, Nick Wise is the leader of this team. He's the only senior on the roster, and I think he feels the pressure to really be that go-to guy and to take the little ones under his wing. And that's not to say that he hasn't been a good leader in the past, because he has been, but it's more of a lead by example type thing because he was under the shadow of Jordan Hill and Chase Budinger. But now that they're both in the NBA, he's really, taking this on as his own and being a more assertive and vocal leader.
Well, thank you, Sarah. Now, Nick Wise does remain the team's veteran leader, but needless to say, there are a hefty bunch of new faces shedding light on the basketball program. Bryan, give us some insight on what we can expect.
And for the sake of keeping the show under an hour long, I'm just going to run through the newcomers, just some quick hits on them because they are the lifeblood of this team. They're going to be the key to whether this team is going to be a legitimate contender in the upper echelon of the Pac-10 or end the streak this year, which Sean Miller has already said he wouldn't be surprised if that has happened. I'm going to start with Momo Jones, might be this team's go-to guy if Nick Wise perhaps suffers another injury this year. He's an injury-prone guy. You never know. But Momo, he's a confident leader. He's got swagger, and he's got a lot of excitement. The kid can certainly play. A hard-nosed East Coast guy from Harlem. Got to love that style of basketball. But one thing overlooked is that he replaced Brandon Jennings at Oak Hill last year and actually led Oak Hill to an even better year than Brandon Jennings did. So if that's any indication as to this kid's potential, he's going to be good. It's tough right now for him. He's got to learn two positions, so he's behind the rest of the freshmen. He's got to learn the 1 and the 2. Ideally, Sean Miller would like him to play with Nick Wise on the court, but he could also serve as a pretty legitimate backup. Kevin Parham, Derek Williams, Solomon Hill, 3 big guys that they're going to expect minutes out of. Sean Miller has already said he's going 9, 10 deep through his bench. So all these freshmen are going to get a chance to play. Unlike last year, as we remember, Russ Pennell only went 7 deep in his bench. A lot of guys playing a lot of minutes. It's not going to be a hockey game, but we're certainly going to see a lot of players this year. Derek Williams and Carrillo down low. Ideally, Sean Miller would like them both to play at the post, but right now it'll be Creel and Derek Williams down there getting to know each other, getting to know their position. And I'm going to even include sophomore Brandon Lavender in the newcoming department because he did nothing last year. And I talked to him at Media Day, and basically he said that, this is his year to come out. He didn't have a lot of confidence last year. He didn't get many chances last year. And the few times that he did, he showed some light, some potential. Already this year, he's been looked at as the team's best three-point shooter. He's a lockdown defender, and most importantly, he's gained confidence. So he's certainly another guy that'll factor into this deep rotation that Sean Miller wants to use.
I couldn't agree more with Lavender. I was just about to say we should include him too because I really think he has the potential to be the next big player. With all this being said, in your opinion, who really needs to step up and play to their potential for the Cats to really reach the next level and be successful? Sarah.
I can't believe I'm about to say this actually, but I think Jamel Horn could be the X factor. Don't laugh at me.
We've picked him as the X factor the last 3 years.
Okay. Well, this year he seems to be improving. He's obviously very athletic. He has been, but he seems to be getting better from last season. I mean, he's actually, so far in these exhibitions, he's been shooting, he's been rebounding, he's been blocking. I actually think if he keeps this up, he'll do well and support Nick Wise.
Well, we've all seen how he's done in the past couple of years. UAB and USC. That's all I'm going to say.
I know.
That's on it. 1 second left. Okay, sorry.
Not bitter.
All right.
Not bitter at all.
So, I've moved on, as you can see. So, now this one goes out to both of you. I think, yes, we'll get to it in a minute. Are the Wildcats tournament bound this year, Brian?
No, they're not. The streak ends. This is it, 25. It doesn't go any farther. The Pac-10 is weak this year. I wouldn't be surprised if 3 teams came out of the Pac-10 in the NCAA tournament. Sean Miller has already said he wouldn't be surprised if they make it, so I'm going to go with a no. This team is built for the future, not this year.
Understandable, understandable. I just think with a weakened Pac-10 conference, Arizona could really thrive. I'm going to have to go ahead and say yes because of reputation. Sean Miller coming over, I think they give us one more squeak here, and then we actually have to start proving ourselves, but that's just me and being the biased fan that I am. Sarah, what do you think?
I'm going to have to agree with you. I really think that the Wildcats are really going to push themselves. They're feeling the pressure. Everyone is talking about, are you going to continue the streak to 26? Nobody wants to be that person that lets the streak break. So I think they are going to be 24/7, really pushing to make it back for March.
You got to watch out for some of those pesky trap games that we all like that we've seen Arizona lose in these past couple of years. All right, so we're a little wishy-washy on the tournament. We'll see what happens. So here it is now, Pac-10 predictions. Pretty big consensus, I would say. First off, we got the Washington Huskies leading the way. With their ability to run both the big man and small man point, they're a really big threat. And in my opinion, with Pac-10 Freshman of the Year coming in, Abdul Gaddy, the kid's going to be a stud. He's really going to show them. With him and Isaiah Thomas, no relation to the real Isaiah Thomas, although I really wish there was, I think they're going to be a real big threat in the backcourt, and they're going to have the potential to run up and down and really make teams tired, and they're going to be the biggest offensive threat in the Pac-10. Second, also another general consensus, Cal. With Jerome Randall, who, like we all think, has the potential to be this year's Pac-10 Player of the Year. His shooting's over 50% from the field, and Cal didn't really lose anybody, but they did gain a couple of big offensive threats down low. I think they're going to be the biggest threat to Washington and pretty much run over the rest of the Pac-10. Next up, this is just Budish talking, University of Arizona. I just think with their incoming class and the ability to play a big post in here, we don't have to worry about Jacobson playing down low for the rest of the season.
He might get some minutes.
Might get some minutes, but I don't really want him to. No offense, big guy. I think that they're going to be a big threat to the lower-ranked teams. They're going to win those games easily, and you never know. When you come into McHale Center, it's never an easy win for the opposing road teams. That crowd gets a little hefty. I think it's going to be a big season for Arizona. I think their breakout freshmen are going to really show something. And like we said before, I think Brendan Lavender is really going to show us some big news coming from him. We'll see. In at number 4, UCLA, led by their senior forward, Nikola Dragovic. The kid's a stud from behind the line. He can hit anything from anywhere. I've seen it. I've seen him hit half-court shots. With Ben Howland, you're never safe. He is one of the greatest coaches in the country, maybe one of the better ones that I've seen since I've been watching basketball. He always loves defense. They're going to be a hefty defensive team, and they're never going to let you score over 90 points in a game. And with that, they have a young team, and they're going to be a little weak. But with that defense, they're going to show us some stuff. Claiming the number 5 spot, Oregon State. That's right. Corvallis has something else besides farms. They have a basketball team this year, and they're ready to show you. Craig Robinson is a great upcoming coach, and they really have a team that can make some big impact this season. Never know, they might squeak past UCLA and Arizona, in my opinion. Squeak into that number 3 spot. Maybe tournament bound. We don't know. Rounding out the top 10, I'll say it, who cares? Oregon, you're awful. Stop playing. Get a new stadium. ASU, I never liked you, and you've lost your best 3 players, so you're done. USC, I cannot wait until Kevin O'Neal comes into my stadium. I have some words for him. Washington State, you lost Tony Bennett. He went to Virginia. You have no one. And Stanford, what are you? I don't think they pose any kind of threat.
Not
to
a
the
basketball
Wildcats.
team.
Yes.
Not
What do
since
you?
the Lopez twins were there. No.
What do you think? Agree with the Pac-10 predictions?
You know, it's going to be a complete cluster underneath. I mean, 3 through 10, who knows?
It's
Who
going to be
knows?
a train wreck, to say the least. I mean, for ASU, as far as that goes, when Derek Glasser is your best player, you know you have zero hope. I mean, none.
He's got a good jump shot.
It's going to be absolutely important to get that 3 spot, though, in the Pac-10, because right now the Pac-10 is ranked 6th as a conference in the country. There are 5 other conferences that are better than the Pac-10.
Disappointing.
A 3-bid year. that might be the harsh reality.
Oh, yeah, I have to agree with that. I say 4 maximum, and I have to say you have to at least get 19, 20 wins out of that for a 4th spot. Well, fans, that's going to do it for us. Sarah Kezele, Bryan Roy, I'm Alex Budish saying bear down, and I'll see you at the game.